Hi folks, and welcome to an InkDependence.com brief video review and water drop test. This time, Toucan Black. It comes in these little sample sizes. Sorry, it's kind of dark today. It's dark as heck outside because it's been raining all night. This is a 3 ml sample. This comes from AndersonPens.com. That's also the only place in the US you'll find Toucan inks. It's an Australian brand, of course. You've seen a few of these on the blog, I hope. I've got the whole set and I'm going through them. So I've got this one, and the next one coming up is Royal Blue, I believe. So keep your eyes open for that one. Just going to make some videos here. So I felt like I'd used a lot more of this ink than I had, but I was using it in this Jinhao pen, which I don't have handy, but that's an X750. It's a fine pen. They're kind of hit or miss. This one is pretty good. And this ink behaved really well in it. I never had any hard starts. It was no big deal. It's a very, it's a black. So there you go. That's cool. I'm pretty sure it's a medium nib. Those Jinhao pens are pretty sketchy about what size their nib is. I think there's only one nib size, and it's roughly a medium-ish, kind of a big medium. Anywho, I didn't have any problems with this ink. It flows perfectly well. It doesn't have any bleeding, feathering, or spreading on the copy paper samples that I did. I've used it quite a bit. In fact, I used the whole converter worth of ink, which is fairly rare for me, honestly. Shading and sheen, I say no, but some of the places, I really didn't write with this ink much on Rhodia before I started writing the review, and you can sort of see, well, there we go, you can see a little bit of like shine coming off of it. I wouldn't say it's sheen exactly, but it is shiny. Kind of a shiny black ink, which is nice. But sheen, not exactly. One thing about this ink is that it's definitely the most saturated of this Toucan set as far as I can tell. Compared to all the rest of them, this is a very solid ink. So if you want to darken up one of the other ones, these inks are made to be mixed together with each other. Don't mix them with other stuff unless you're going to be a bit more careful. But with each other, they're supposed to mix just fine. And I think very little of this black ink would really darken up some of those others. So if I start actually making mixes, and heck I might, I'm going to start by adding a little bit of this black to some of those other colors, see how it goes. What you can see on the swatch here is much more of this, I mean, it looks kind of gold there, so maybe there's like just a touch of sheeny type stuff in there. I don't know, I didn't really see it on any of my other tests, so this is kind of interesting that it's on this. Other ink comparisons to stuff I've got sitting around, you can see that it's not quite as black, although I did manage to smear it. It's not quite as black as the Boston Brahmin. This is a Noodler's ink that's made specially for, I think it was the Boston Pen Show last year or the year before or something like that. I picked up a little bottle of it at DC, and it's a really dark black. It's, at least as black as Aurora or some of those other super blacks. But the Toucan, not quite that dark, but also, you can see a little bit, if you look closely, now that I've zoomed in, you can actually see a little bit of feathering. Now that's my fingernail, so that's half a fingernail's worth of word, but you can see a little bit of feathering. You don't really see any with the Toucan. It doesn't have any feathering. It did have a long dry time. Let's see if it actually still smears. No, it doesn't, but it does have a fairly long dry time, so be careful with that. Whoa, huh. Omas Blue still. Oh, how about that? So I've been using Omas Blue just a little bit lately, and that's in a vanishing point, so it's not a huge amount of ink, but wow, Omas Blue is still smearing. How about that? I just learned something about Omas Blue. Toucan's Bright Green, which you've recently seen, Pomegranate, Salamander, and Toucan Aqua, which I'm really kind of being a big fan of right now. I like that ink a lot. But the black, just kind of a standard black, so that's cool. Now here's the water test. Let's see how this works out. I don't have much hope for it, although the chromatography looks like it might be okay, but every one of these Toucan inks has fled screaming from water. Oh, hey, look at that. Yeah, this one not going to be any better, I don't think. These inks, for whatever reason, just don't have any water resistance. So if that's a thing that's necessary for you, this is not going to be your ink. But, I mean, look at it. A lot of it came up, but there's still quite a bit there, actually, which is interesting. It's, there you go. So, a lot of black came up on the paper towel. It's a very mottled paper towel. But there's still quite a bit there, so there's the Royal Blue beneath it. Yeah, so interesting. Water resistant, not exactly, but also not exactly no. So sorry, that was a brief blip. I hit the wrong button. In any case, as at the end of that review, the Toucan Black, I'll try to amend it to the end. We'll see how it goes. Oh, one other thing to show, and that is this. This is the chromatography for this ink. So you can see it's just really got black in it, just like the rest of these mixable inks. There's not really much else going on. The bright green had some different colors in it, but this one just is kind of black. And you can see there's some left to the bottom, so that's why I thought it might actually be a little bit water resistant, but a lot of it has fled, so that's kind of also what we've seen here. That's interesting. All right, so that's that. All right, so this has been Toucan's Black. I am Mike. This is Ink Dependence, and thanks to the Andersons for sending these out for me to test out. Also, go check these out. They come in these really cool bag pouch type things, which I guess are just easier to ship overseas or something, which is a very cool thing. You'll probably want a syringe to get it out of the bag, but you know, not a sharp one because it's a bag. You can also get samples and such over there at Anderson Pens. So there you go. If you like what you've seen here at inkdependence.com, please consider being a patron. Go on over to patreon.com/inkdependence to find out how you can help out. Thanks very much. See you around.